Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dive into a pretty wild idea from a source called the Anti-Manual for Unknowing. We're basically going to challenge the one thing our culture seems to value most, being right.
I mean, think about it. We live in an age that just demands expertise. At work, in our hobbies, even just chatting with friends. There's this constant pressure to have the facts, the data, the final word. We're supposed to be certain, to be the expert in the room.
But what if that's completely backwards? What if true creativity, what if real insight, what if actual joy comes not from having all the answers, but from leaning into the exact opposite?
The source material puts out this amazing invitation to dive joyfully into not knowing. Now, this isn't about being ignorant, not at all. It's about being open. It's about treating your mind like a bottomless cup that's always ready to be filled, instead of one that's already full and, frankly, scared of spilling. So let's do it. Let's take that dive.
Okay, so our first stop on this journey is really getting a handle on the right mindset. It's all about letting go of that constant pressure to be right, and instead finding the incredible freedom and, yes, joy in just being open.
So how in the world do we get there? Well, like any good expedition into the unknown, you've got to pack the right gear. But you can forget the map, forget the compass. What we actually need is a kind of mental starter pack for what's called the beginner's mind.
And the process is just brilliantly simple. First things first, assume you're wrong. Not just about one thing, about everything. Second, the moment you get that little spark and think, aha, I get it, just laugh at yourself. Let it go. And finally, ask a question so wonderfully, beautifully absurd that it just short-circuits your logical brain completely.
A question like this, it's not meant to be answered. Its only job is to smash open our rigid little boxes of thought. Taste over here, color over there, and just let a little bit of wonder seep in. This is all about chasing possibility, not practicality.
Now, these kinds of questions, they're actually part of a really old tradition of using riddles called koans. And koans aren't problems to be solved. They're meant to be sat with, to be contemplated, until the logical, problem-solving part of your brain just, it gives up.
So, for example, take this first one. Just sit with that for a second. It really plays with our ideas of control, of identity, right? Who's the doer when there's no conscious plan in place? Or how about this one? It pokes at our ideas of what's real and what's imagination. I mean, what does it really mean to be lost in a feeling, or a memory, or a daydream? Here, the question itself is the destination.
And this one is just beautiful. It's impossible, of course it is, but the act of trying to listen for a thought before it even arrives, it creates this amazing space of pure awareness. It's an exercise in being present in that silence where all our ideas come from.
Okay, so if we're letting go of answers, it makes sense that we also have to let go of our fear of getting things wrong. So this next part reframes failure. It's not something to avoid anymore, it's a fundamental, even desirable part of the whole process.
And notice the paradox here. It's so clever. The goal isn't even to succeed at failing, because, hey, that would still be a form of success. The real game is to let go of that entire spectrum. It's about finding that sweet spot in the middle where you're just doing, with no judgment attached.
And this manifesto shows us exactly how to apply that. Each one of these instructions is designed to just completely dismantle your expertise and force you into this state of clumsy, authentic, real creation. It's a great way to break a creative block or find a new way forward when you feel stuck. Forget what you know. Go ahead, use mud and confusion. Let the notes rebel. That's where the magic really is.
This whole philosophy is captured so perfectly in what the source calls the Unsutra of not knowing. It's like a sacred text for the delightfully lost, and it kicks off with this perfect, playful contradiction.
And of course, it immediately gets you. It knows you probably ignored that first instruction. So the critical second step is the command to unread it. It's such a hilarious way of telling you to constantly empty your mind, even of the very instructions that are supposed to help you do it.
And this brings us to the final stop. The ultimate knowledge of not knowing is, it's nothing. An empty page. It's a space for you to fill, or maybe even better, a space to just leave beautifully, perfectly blank.
So where does this all end? Well, that's the point. It doesn't. Instead,
We just get one last little push off the cliff of certainty and into this wonderful, mysterious fog.
It starts with this command. Let go of everything we just talked about. This whole framework, the steps, this entire anti-manual. Because, the map is never the actual territory.
Don't march forward trying to find clarity. No. Turn around, face what's behind you, and just walk with trust into the mist, completely unable to see what's coming next. And then you get this. What a fantastic, whimsical image. Instead of fighting or being afraid of the parts of yourself you don't understand, your shadow, you're told to greet it like an old friend.
And then just let go. Don't analyze it. Don't try to integrate it in some clinical way. Just dissolve. Let the lines between what you know and what you don't, between you and your shadow, just fade away.
And we're going to end on this beautiful paradox. We think we need to be full of knowledge, right? Full of fuel and answers to get anywhere. But the real journey, the rocket launch into creativity and true discovery, it's powered by the exact opposite. It's powered by the huge, powerful, limitless energy of an empty tack. So, what will you do with yours?